everyone, myself R. Vinodini, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Biomedical Engineering, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. I am handling the subject Clinical Engineering. Today, I am going to discuss about the topic Ethics of Animals in Research. So, in a research field, we are using animals for a research purpose. So, how we are using it? What are the things we are going to do with the animals? So, those things we will be seen in this topic. First, uses of animals. Mainly, animals are used in research or experimentation in the place of human subject. So, instead of taking an human as a subject, we are been using an animals for a research purpose. So, mostly these animals are used often in the difficult cases, like disease treatment, prevention, treatment of injuries, basic medical testing, medical diagnosis. So in this following cases, we have been using the animals. So first we will be testing the animals only. Then only we will test in human beings. So animals are used in research or experimentation in place of human subjects. So instead of humans, animals are being replaced. And animals in research, if you take animals in a research purpose, for what kind of research they have been using? For creating a vaccination, for anesthesia, for developing antibiotics, then numerous medical treatments for various diseases. So there are lots of new unidentified diseases we are found. No? So in such cases, we will be developing some antibiotics or a medicine. So first we have to test it with the animals. Then only we can give it to the human beings. So that is the main thing in this research. Okay, so animals in the research will be used for testing vaccination, anesthesia, antibiotics, numerous medical treatments for various diseases. So this is the concept. And what kind of animals they have been used in this research purpose? So they will be using rat, mouse, rabbit, pig, cow, horse, dog, and cat. So these kind of animals only used for research. Okay. So for rat and mouse will be used in cancer research, then metabolic diseases, and also test of drug activities and genome researches. So it will be related to our human parts. So because of that only they will be using such specified animals. Okay. So in case of cancer research, metabolic diseases, and test of drug activities, then genome diseases, rat and mouse have been used. Then rabbit. So rabbits have been used for vaccine development test of drug activities. Okay, so for developing a new vaccines, this rabbit has been used. Then if you go for the pig, for transplantation of the transplantation surgeries, then diabetic researchers, then cardiovascular diseases. So like this kind of researchers, pig have been used. Then cow and horses for used for vaccine development, and also isolation veterinary researchers. These cows and horses were being used. Okay. Then dogs. So dogs were being used for like diabetic researchers, veterinary researchers, bone marrow transplantation, cardiovascular research, heart surgery. Okay, so these kind of things were used. Researchers were being and done using dogs. And cats again for heart surgery, the neurophysical studies, so related to nerves, and then development of hearing aids, then research on cats glucoses, then veterinary diseases. These cats are being used. So these are all the common animals used in a research field. Okay, so they have been using rat, mouse, rabbit, pig, cow, horse, dog, and cat. So each will be used for various diseases and various inventions. Okay. Then ethics. So if you go for the ethics, we will be having we humans, we know to speak, we know to express our feeling, right? Whereas in case of animals, it won't be. So we have to follow some kind of ethics. Okay. So today there exists a wide spectrum of views on this subject. So they will be considering the human rights to those who view animal only as a resource to be exploited. Okay. So all of these viewpoints will be having a contributed to the development of ethical principles of animal use. Animal ethics is the term which is used to describe an human-animal relationship. So, how human ought to be managed and treated. Okay, so I told you, animals can't able to express its feeling or can't able to speak. No, so this human-animal relationship is much more needed. And how animals ought to be managed and treated, it has to be done by the humans. So the subjects matter like animal rights, animal welfare, animal law, animal cognition, wildlife conservation, and then the moral status of non-human animals and the history of animal use. So all those things were right. So all those things will be focusing only on the animal, uh, like animal treatments. So how we have to treat the animals. So a particular set of things they will be producing. And there are around 5 freedoms were there. It was created by Bramwells. The 5 freedoms, it was originally developed from a UK government, okay, in the year of 1965 by Professor Roger Bramwell. Then it was revised by Farm Animal Welfare Council in the year of 1979 in July. Okay, so there were around 5 freedoms which was originally developed, and those 5 freedoms were freedom from hunger or thirst, then freedom from discomfort, third, freedom from pain, injury, or disease, freedom to express normal behavior, freedom from fear and distress. Okay, so first, freedom from hunger or thirst. So if you see the thing itself, you can able to know. So we have to give a proper diet, and then fresh water to the animals for the research animals. For research purpose, we are using certain animals, right? So these while using such kind of animals for a research purpose, we have to give a water and a food. So that is the main thing. Okay, so to access, it has to be ready to access the fresh water and also the diet to maintain the full health and vigorous. So first freedom is to give their food and water, and the second freedom is freedom from discomfort. So if the animal is feeling any discomfort, it has to be it should not feel any discomfort. It has to be fully comfort. It has to be kept in a comfort zone only, by providing an appropriate environment. Like we have to give a proper shelter to it, and also we have to give a resting time, comfort resting area and resting time to the animals. Okay, so this is the second freedom, freedom from discomfort. And the third thing is freedom from pain, injury, or disease. So by we are using these animals for the research purpose. So we will be giving some kind of vaccinations. So before that, we have to be very much careful about the pain, injury, or some kind of various kind of diseases will attack or what. Those things we have to mention. So we have to prevent them or from the treat like diseases or injuries. So we have to give them, if something happens also, we have to give them a rapid diagnosis and also the treatment to the animals. Then the fourth freedom, freedom to express normal behavior. So we have to provide a sufficient space and proper facilities and also company to the animal's own kind. So we will be providing their space. We have to be friendly with the animals. And freedom 5. So now fifth freedom is freedom from fear and distress. It means by ensuring the conditions and also the treatment which avoid mental suffering. So it has to be fully distressed. We have to keep in a very normal environment. We have to keep in a very friendly environment to the animals. Okay. So these are all the 5 freedoms. So freedom from hunger and thirst, freedom from discomfort, freedom from pain, injury, or any kind of diseases, then freedom to express normal behavior, and freedom from fear and distress. So these are all the 5 freedoms for the animals. So animal experiment. These animal experiments are widely used to develop new medicines and also to test the safety of other products. Okay, so many of these experiments will be causing pain to the animals, so that it may be reduce their quality of life in the other ways. So if it is morally wrong to cause the animals to suffer from experimenting on them, right? There are few facts were there. Around 85% of the animals used in the research are rodents. So like rats and mice have been only broadly used in an animal research field. So around 85% of the animals used in the research are rodents, like rats and the mice. Okay. Then next fact is most laboratories test on animals which are simply single type test, like changing in diet, drawing a simple blood sample, then administering a drug. Okay, so most laboratory test an animal with a simple single type of test only. Then animals, third fact, animals are given anesthesia if a procedure is going to be invasive in any way. So if it is invasive, uh, uh, compulsory the animal should be having an anesthesia. Okay. Then dogs, cats, and non-human primates will be accounts only for 3 out of 1,000 subjects in an experiment. So rat and mice are a common thing, whereas these dogs and cats around only if you are taking at 1,000 samples, around 1,000, only 3 will be these dogs and cats for a experiment. Okay. Then humans are still the largest group, so which is used for research and experiments and beat out all the other lab animals when it comes to testing. So since humans will be have been in huge numbers, we can't able to use them for a research and experimentation. So instead of the thing only, we'll be using the lab animals. When it comes for testing, we'll be definitely go for a lab animals. And there are about 2 positions on an experiment, animal experiments. So in favor of animal experiment, experiment on animal is acceptable if like suffering is minimized in all experiments. So we should not suffer the animals a lot. Then human benefits are gained which could not be obtained by using other methods. So we should not forcefully or we should not harmfully affect the animals. Then against animal experiments, experimenting on animals it will be always an unacceptable. Why? Because it may cause suffering to the animals. The benefits to human beings are not proven, and any benefits to human beings that animals testing it does not provide could be processed in other way, produced in another way. So it causes suffering to animals. The benefits of to human beings are not proven, and any benefits to human beings that animal testing does provide could be produced in another way. Then 3 R's. So 3 alternatives will be there. So those 3 R's are replacement, reduction, and refinement. Okay. So these are the 3 R's which are encouraged to follow in order to reduce the impacts of research on the animals. Okay. So to reduce the mainly these 3 R's are encouraged. Why? Because to reduce the impacts of research on the animals. Okay. So those 3 R's are replacement, reduction, and refinement. First, replacement means replacing the higher animals with lower animals. So, like microorganisms, plants, eggs, reptiles, amphibians, and also invertebrates may be used in some studies to replace the warm-blooded animals. Okay, so instead of using the warm-blooded animals, we can able to replace it with the microorganisms, with the plants and eggs, reptiles, and also amphibians. Okay, so this is the replacement. And alternatively, live animals may be replaced with the non-animal models. Like instead of using the live animals, we can use the dummy models. So for an introduction to dissection, for teaching the structure of animal or a human body, we'll be using the animal model, right? So instead of that, we can use the dummy model. So this is the replacement thing. Okay. So first is, instead of using an warm-blooded animals, we can use an small lower animals like microorganisms, plants, eggs, reptiles, amphibians, etc. Same way, dummy models we can create, and we can use it for an study purpose. So while teaching the structure of structures, body anatomy, if you want to study about the anatomy, if we need a instead of needing using a live model, we can use this dummy model. Okay, then mechanical or computer models also we used. So audio visuals were be there, and vitro models. So instead of using the original animals, we can use a mechanical or a computer model system. So this is what replacement. So we can either replace the higher animal from the older one, and also we can use dummy models and also mechanical or computer models. Okay. So first, replacement. Here, replacing experiments on the animals with alternative techniques, such as experimenting on cell culture instead of all animals, and using computer models, and studying human volunteers using epidemiological studies. So these are all the replacement. Then complete replacement. So here, an alternative method should not require any animal derivative biological materials. Like the use of predictions based on the physical and chemical properties of the molecule, and the mathematical and computer studies of the biological process, then analysis of epidemiological data, then research involving in human participants, or research on isolated human cells and tissues in the cultures. So these are all the complete replacement. An incomplete replacement, if you take, which means many methods will be considered as a replacement. Also, you will be using biological materials obtaining from a human or likely humanly killed animals as research, or cells, tissues which are derived from a living or humanly killed animals for culture. So in vitro and in vitro. So for one thing is, in the replacement you will be having complete replacement method. So you can use dummy models or computer models, and incomplete thing is there. So we can in such cases we can use a serum which is derived from the fetal or newborn calves. So these method we can call it as an incomplete, though we are not completely avoiding the animal models, or else we are just taking these samples like fetal or a newborn cows only we are using. Okay. Then advantages of the replacement. So if you go for the advantages, utilizing the pre-existing knowledge for the teaching, and also applying the known principles to new systems to look for the similarities, and also using a less expensive animals or the models to screen large number of agents for the toxicity or mutagenicity. And though advantages there means, obviously disadvantage will also be there. So here chiefs stem from the fact that any models are dependent on pre-existing information only. So in the system, a complex as a living organism, all of the variables in the physiology and the pathology are not known, right? So any research of a biological process have to utilize the living organism only. Then only we can able to know about clearly know about the physiological and also about the pathological things, right? So it is not able to know able to done in a dummy models. So for that we have to go for a animal models only. And the second thing is reduction. So reduction means minimizing the number of animals needed to perform an experiment or teach a concept. So instead of using a more number of animals, we can able to reduce it. Okay. So here, by examining these parameters, the IACU, it can be determined if thoughtful experimental design was employed to minimize overall animal use. So reducing the number of animals used in experiments by how we can reduce means improving the experimental techniques, then improving the techniques of data analysis, and also sharing information with other researchers. So if the same research is done in two different kind of laboratory, means data can be shared with those two data. So it will be reduced. So number of animals we have used will be reduced, right? So sharing information with each researchers will be able to reduce. And also consulting with the statistician to use only the number of animals required to achieve a significance, and minimizing variables like diseases, stress, then diet, genetics, etc. Can that maybe affects an experimental research. Okay, so the number of animals required to achieve an significance process. And also performing appropriate literature researches and consulting with the colleagues to ensure that the experiments are not duplicated, and replacement whenever whenever we need, we will replace it, or else we try to reduce the animals used in this research site. And the third or is refinement, which means the experimental protocols to minimize the pain or distress using a protocol form. So like identifying pain and distress, and also making plans for preventing or relieving it. So if you test an animal, it will definitely it will cause pain to him, to the animal, right? So we have to reduce, we have to identify how we can able to reduce those pain or distress, and also making discomfort. Okay, and then receiving adequate training which is prior to performing a procedure, using a proper handling techniques for an animals. And then refinement. So the defining the experiments or the ways the animals are cared for, so as to it has to reduce their suffering by using less invasive techniques, then better medical care, and also better living condition. Okay, so the refining the experiments or the way the animals are cared for, so it has to reduce their suffering by using less invasive techniques, better medical care, better living conditions. Okay, so this is the main concept in this refinement. And also we have to see about the causes for pain or the distress. Well, it has to be maybe sometimes the pain will be higher for the animals. Okay, so in such cases we have to reduce it. We should not give such much of pressure to those animals. So we have to be very much like we have to care for the animals, right? So we should not uh, forcefully do the research on the animals. Okay, so these three R's are the main important thing: recycling, reducing, and refining. So recycling means we can able instead of using the original model, original thing, we can able to replace it with then dummy models or a computer controlled models. And then reducing, so instead of using number of animals to a single research, we can reduce the usage of an animal. So usage of number of animals will be we can able to reduce. And then refinement, so animals will be having a uh, pain, discomfort, and distress, right? So we should not give anything like that. We have to minimize the pain should be minimal, and we have to give them distress. So it should not be stressful while undergone any research. Okay, so if it is like that means maybe our research also maybe went in a wrong way. So we have to take care of the animals fully. So these are all the main important concepts in the um, animal care. So so that it will be helpful for the researchers to make use of the animals with the like make use of animals without causing any pain, discomfort to them. Okay, why? Because we can able to express our feeling, and we can able to tell what happens to us, whereas animals can't able to express. We cannot able to communicate with the animals, right? So these are all the few things we should be keep in mind to while doing research on animals, with the animals. So if you are doing the research with animals, you have to take care of all those things. So commonly used animals were like rat and mice, and other than that, we'll be using pig, horse, cow, and then dog, cat, etc. Right? So each thing have a unique characteristics. So we have to take care of them. We have to keep that in mind, and we have to be very much friendly with them. So these are all the important things in animal care. So and some of the ethics we have to follow is these things only. So and we have seen about the three R's. Three R's are like reduce, recycle, and refinement. So yes, that's all about today's topic.